You know, Alan, I am ready to get empowered. So what advice do you have for the ladies?
You're already a very powerful woman, and that's a great start because a lot of women take care of their own finances and are very involved in things. But there are those ladies out there that need to be more involved. So really speaking to them above and everything else, because you got to keep your identity, right? And when you're in a relationship, everybody's always worried when a relationship starts in the middle to the end. I mean, you're always got things going on. And we just want to make sure that a woman keeps her identity, has a bank account. I mean, who wants to go to their husband and say, hey, it's time for your birthday. Can I get $100 so I can buy you something or whatever? I mean, that's just not a good place to be. Finances in general need to be a joint decision. You need to work with a financial advisor that both you and your spouse are comfortable with. Because the first time you meet your spouse, or your financial advisor, shouldn't be after your spouse passes away or is incapacitated and you're going in there and saying, I think we have money with you. What do I do? How much do I have? How does it all work? That's just not a place where we want people to be.
Right, absolutely. And because you want to be doing all those things together, you also want to be having access to those financial documents.
Absolutely.
You want to know where they're at. So,
Yes.
Why is that so important?
Well, you're talking about powers of attorney, you're talking about bank statements, IRAs, all these types of financial documents. For example, if your spouse is in a car accident or is incapacitated and they're in the hospital and you need copies of that power of attorney, you need to know where it's at, right? You need to know that you have one, first off, to make sure that you can get the things accomplished you want to have accomplished. So it's just so important to be having a good, solid plan, like our roundtable retirement process, where we address all these things. Beneficiaries are designated correctly, that you're making sure the things you have go to the people and places you want. So, when we're talking about finances, it's such a joint decision, and, men handle a lot of it, women handle a lot of it. You bring in money together, you spend money together, plan together.
Right, and that makes so much sense because it's a partnership. You guys both want to be contributing.
Be.
Yeah, I bet exactly. So you were also giving some advice, pay yourself first. So let's explain what that means and why it's so important.
Well, it's a twofold part. I mean, one is that when we're going to put money into our IRAs or into our Roth IRAs or into our 401k at work, I think it's very important that you're taking those monies and you're being fair and equitable to both members of the family. It shouldn't all be in the husband's, and it necessarily shouldn't all be in the wife's. It should be even, that you're building both retirement plans. I mean, you have to be conscious of the fees that you're paying and that kind of thing, and who's matching and that stuff. But it's just, your account, my account, our account kind of thing.
Well, the worst thing you can do is both get to kind of the retirement age, or when you start thinking about, hey, we don't want to keep working anymore, and one person to have it all in their name and then not the other.
Yeah, and it just makes it difficult when it does come to something happening, is trying to transfer it back and figuring it out, and the time that's involved with that and the fear that's involved with that. There's just fear with financial planning. Well, that's why we created a brochure that we want to give to all of our viewers, which is the 10 tips to empower women. And if you text 474747, you text empower, you'll be able to get a copy of that.